Hello Leo, welcome to your reading for June 6th through to the 13th. And as always, it's going to be general, so please take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. Okay, let's welcome in the Archangels, Ascended Masters, benevolent light beings like the Arcturians, Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans, Alpha Centaurians, and many others, as well as our multi-dimensional selves, past life selves, and our higher selves, okay? And any animal, ancestral, or dragon guides you feel resonant with, Leo. Okay. Page of Swords, the Moon, the Star, and the Magician. So these are the two start cards. So this is something that you've moved into recently, Leo. I think there's something about your inner child that is quite curious, and there could be something about some truths or some untruths, or some things that went on in your childhood that I guess made an imprint. Well, obviously a lot of things that go on do make deep imprints in our fields in terms of our subconscious. And maybe there's something about that time of your life that you are looking into at the moment. Maybe there's some inner child, some childhood experiences, which could have happened, if you're younger than 5, over 5, maybe even into teenagehood, okay? And that maybe you're reflecting on those times in your life, and maybe there's something back then that you love to do that you haven't been doing. So maybe it's sort of been held in your subconscious, or you've been a bit repressed. Maybe there's a special talent, gift, or an ability that you had then that maybe you are looking at now. Currently, King of Pentacles, King of Swords. Wow. Yeah. So you are really moving into this at the moment, this energy of, I guess, holding space for yourself with regard to possibly a mind-body kind of connection thing. The swords suit is about, mind, intellect, higher consciousness. And maybe you're looking at, and the earth element here, Pentacles, can be about the body or health and well-being. And maybe these things that went on in your childhood, maybe they affected it affected your mind-body connection, either in a positive or a negative way. Or maybe even your health, maybe your perception of your intellectual abilities as well, your communication abilities. But these are two very masterful energies. Okay, the King of Pentacles is sort of also about abundance, and this is intellectual mastery here, King of Swords, and also this ability for you to analyze, Leo. So this could also be representing people in your life that you aspire to, that you look up to, that are perhaps they are teachers, guides, or counselors, or even parent. Okay, parent. Or you could be reparenting your inner child at this time, particularly, helping you to acknowledge your intelligence and your ability to be grounded, centered, and to create abundance for yourself, okay? Look at this fire here, driving your reading, the underlying theme, Leo. And you are a fire sign, and here we have the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands. This is very interesting. I don't often pull the Page and Knight together of the same suit in the same kind of cluster like this. This is a lot of fire and inspiration, and I feel like this is your inner child here, okay? And this Knight energy here, like there's something about your inner child energy that I think the underlying theme is that it is going to be fired up or inspired to be creative, to take action of some sort, to maybe move into a business or to move forward with a lot of enthusiasm and passion here with the Knight of Wands. It could also be, I guess, you know, you are a fire sign here, Leo, which I've just mentioned, but I'm going to say it again. So it could also be talking or suggesting for you to really reflect on the things that you were passionate about during your childhood and also during your teenage years. Okay, what fired you up? What were you passionate about? What were you good at? What were there ways that you expressed your creativity, your spirituality, even your intuition as well? And yeah, to really look at that, which is in alignment with the first two cards here, because I feel like you're looking at your childhood experiences. So this is just another suggestion for how you can reflect on that time. General direction moving forward. Wow, Leo, you have the Magician and the Star. So there's something probably quite magical or something very inspirational or soul connected, soul aligned for you that happened during your childhood. And I feel like the general direction moving forward is that you're really going to be tapping into those subconscious resources here with the Magician, your inner resources, your soul resources, okay? And, you know, all of the elements, fire, earth, air, and water here. And also this star energy, which is the soul alignment, which is also healing. So we talked about that you could possibly be going through a process of reparenting your inner child, which is, of course, a healing process in itself. So you could well be, you know, going through this process, but this is a very positive direction moving forward for to sort of guide you and I guess inspire you if you are doing some inner child exploration work. Let's look at your outcome. Hang on a moment, I'll just... okay, there are cards flipping here, which... Okay. All right, so we'll grab those. They literally fell. We've got the Ace of Cups and the King of Wands, Four of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So outcome here. You have another king here, Leo. Okay, and this time it's the King of Fire. So this is suggesting to me that perhaps you are becoming a leader of sorts, or you will certainly be successful in reparenting your inner child. Okay, remember we have all this fire, Page and Knight, and now we have the King of Wands here. These are wands and the wand energy, which simply means that you're going to go through a, I was going to say a graduation process, but like an inner exploration, an inner journey. And I think you're going to come out successful and with some resolution, some understanding and some direction for how you're going to really move into this Ace of Cups, which is soul, spirit connection, unconditional love, you know, creativity, intuition, inspiration, a whole lot of, and Spirit has your back here with the Ace of Cups. And I really like this deck. It uses colour. So you have like all of these beautiful colours here. So maybe you're going to be doing some chakra work, or maybe something to do with creativity, painting or working with colour or something like that. Or maybe it's going to be part of what you do. Not necessarily, okay. But, you know, something creative, passionate. Maybe you're going to start a business. But this is really awesome because you're going to be holding space for yourself, for your passions here. And literally, yeah, you now have 3 kings in your reading, okay? Yeah, let's look at this. What you may not be aware of here also is that for you, Leo, is that there's going to be value for you in being able to be present here with the Four of Pentacles to, I guess, practice some type of mindfulness or meditation if you haven't already started doing that. The Four of Pentacles is a very stable, kind of grounded energy, so being connected to nature. And It's also going to be very nurturing, Queen of Pentacles for you. Very grounding, earth connected, and it's going to help you to feel as though you're flourishing, as though you're moving into abundance. And yeah, it's also a nice partner energy for this King of Pentacles here. King and Queen of Pentacles, okay. Very, I guess in terms of creating potentials for the future, are really nice energies to create that foundation and potential for growth. Having patience and being able to be present is going to be of assistance for you. Let's grab some spirit guidance as well. Okay, we have the Hanged Man, Seven of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. We just talked about being present there with the Four of Pentacles and being really grounded, and your Hanged Man energy here. This is very holistic, so it's meditating on your mind, body, spirit connection. And we did talk about these two energies here being of possibly mind-body connection. And maybe there was something in your childhood that you loved to do. Maybe there was a sport or a recreation or something that you loved to, you know, maybe you're really good at chess or, you know, whatever. I'm just pulling things out of the air there. So it could be anything, right? And this is Hanged Man or the Hanged Dragon, Hanged One here, contemplating, Spirit sort of suggesting for you to, I guess, go about things in a holistic way. So doing the self-care around your thought processes, around your mind-body connection, your physical health, your spiritual interests, your creativity. Yeah, okay, looking after all aspects of yourself as you move forward, and maybe you're investigating or doing your inner child work, which is kind of like a soul exploration in itself, okay? And here you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, you are consolidating, you are reflecting on the past, quite possibly. You could be evaluating things, how things are at the moment, okay? Excuse me. You also have this beautiful Nine of Pentacles, which is a beautiful work-life balance, enabling you to have enough energy, time and attention to spend on yourself, but also to have enough to sort of give out as well. So this is talking about balance. So Spirit's saying, you know, move forward in a grounded way, allow time and energy for you to, so that you can have a balanced approach and be able to balance your energies as you do your soul investigation here, and kind of working on identifying these passions and possibly, you know, getting involved in something that's going to help you to revisit these passions that you experienced as a child, okay? We have the Gold Orange Dragon here, formed from the Dragon Oracle. It says, expands your light for ascension. And I think this is kind of what you're doing here with the Moon, because sometimes when we go inward and we look at what's true, what is actually true and what is not true, it can open us up into realizing what we need to let go of and what we can move towards, okay? So I think this is part of what you're doing here. You are expanding your light as part of your ascension process, Leo. Be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, and remember your magnificence. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And here we have, this is the Star, okay? Your soul alignment. This is you coming into greater connection, understanding of your soul here. And definitely the Gold Orange Dragon, probably talking about the sacral and the solar plexus chakra, so doing some work on those chakras. And you could definitely call upon this dragon, you know, for your meditations or during your meditation. And here we have the Fool. Yeah, I feel like you are starting on another journey, on a new journey, okay? This is also an inner child playfulness. It's about trust. It's about believing in yourself, Leo. Okay, believing that what you are doing has meaning and depth for you, and that it is, you know, certainly a valid thing to be doing. And the Fool is also very source connected, so very spiritual, a little bit like the Star energy here, okay? And here we have the Emperor. Wow. Yeah, you are building something, Leo. So you're probably feeling into these spiritual energies. You also have the Ace of Cups here. Remember, that Spirit has your back, very spiritual card. But you're also grounded, okay, with the Emperor. And I really like this because the Emperor is the number 4 in the Major Arcana. And remember, you have the 4 of Pentacles. So this is a reminder for you to, keep your feet on the ground, and to have balance, but to, be aware that you are co-creating with Spirit, and that you are that you can go about things in a very practical way, but that you also will be needing to spend time contemplating your soul and your spirit connections and your inner child, of course. And here we have the 7 of Swords. So you could be in this process of gathering information of, maybe you're doing some of this inner work quietly by yourself, which is absolutely fine. And doing some investigation, finding out what you need to. And this person here has books. So maybe you're going to be reading, maybe you're going to be even formulating some new values and beliefs, because remember we were saying at the start that you're sorting out, what is true, what is actually true for you and what isn't at this time. And sometimes in our childhood, things that were true, or what we believe to be true, as we come into adulthood are no longer true. Some things stay kind of true, but other things kind of we come to realize, it's actually not true. Okay, so I think maybe you're doing some reading, maybe you're investigating different schools of thought. Maybe you're looking into subconscious psychological counseling theories such as Jung. Jungian theory is very interesting. If you want to read Man and His Symbols, that's a lot to do with the subconscious, okay, and the psychoanalytic theory, which is Jung used to, of course, well, he did not used to. There was always a connection for Jung and Freud with regard to childhood and how that can affect adulthood, okay. And here we have the Devil, okay, and this is about the connections that, once again, you are letting go of those attachments that no longer serve for you, Leo. And I think that's part of this investigation here. You're investigating your subconscious here. You're investigating what's true, what you've been attached to. Maybe there are some habits and things that you are looking at now. And maybe you're contemplating letting go of those habits if you feel that they are not helping you. That could be something you're doing as well. And Lemurian Star Child Oracle, we have abundance. And here we have, it says here, abundance, and it says fullness of source, enough for all and open. So this is kind of very resonant with this Fool energy here. The Fool is very source connected. This deck's quite interesting. It's kind of, a bit galactic. There's a lot of stars and planets and things like that. So maybe you're really opening into this idea of, humanity being part of a greater galactic collective, and also expanding the view, the idea of your soul, and incorporating your inner child, and possibly reparenting your inner child, and really just tapping into this beautiful, look at that pink, that frequency of that color, which is very much the heart chakra. So we did talk about the solar plexus. Oh, yes, that's right, with the dragon here. But also the heart chakra could be something that you are working on healing as well. So, yep, there we have it, Leo. I hope that's been helpful. I think we might wrap it up there. Yeah, I look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day and a fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.